weird times we're going through. But before we jump on that, I've noticed that it is a B Corp, as we've just briefly chatted about. I would really love people to hear what a B Corp is, how that is different from a traditional organization. If you don't mind explaining that, I think that's very useful.
Sure. Well, we're very proud B Corp. We're one of 3,000 companies around the world that have become this. And it means that written into our Articles of Association are certain requirements that we have to fulfill to look after our stakeholders and ensure that we live up to the highest degrees of responsibility in the way that we operate. Everything from transparency to how we manage our low carbon business models. And essentially it's looking at ways to change businesses from focusing on rewards for one particular user type, which is the shareholder, and broadening it up to stakeholders. So everyone that we interact with as a company should benefit from the fact that we are now, or we have been for a while, a full B Corp. So it's a really super thing. And I think you're right, Ozzy. It's certainly something that should become the new norm for a lot of businesses to follow the ideas behind B Corp.
If you don't mind, I'd like to expand on that in my personal experience, because I care passionately about what it is. So for the listeners out there who are hearing about the concept of B Corp for the first time, in a traditional organization, the CEO has the responsibility to the shareholders to maximize the profit. So if there comes a decision point where a CEO either has to maximize the profit, even though it has some societal costs, the CEO has to follow that route. Whatever usually most of the time, whatever the cost, the environmental, the social, the societal cost of that is. If he or she does not do that, then it is essentially the CEO neglecting his or her duties and can be replaced. So in a B Corp, the CEO has an option B, which is say, okay, this is the more profitable way, but it does not essentially benefit all of the stakeholders if you take a broader view. So we will not go that route, even though it is more profitable. So being a B Corp gives that option to the CEOs. Is that right?
That's absolutely correct. I think it's essentially about continuing to reward profit. I mean, what we're not saying as a collection of businesses is that
it's not a charity. Yeah, that's something.
We've got to focus on creating a sustainable model, but we also want to recognize and reward purpose. So it's trying to link the two together. And I think we're seeing a broader shift away from exactly what you're saying, so stakeholder theory, focusing on maximizing profit for shareholders, so investors and shareholders in the company. To one where we can try to find other things to reward businesses for. So it's a really exciting movement to be part of.